Have you ever looked at the top floor, the C-suite, and just wondered, how on earth do I get there from here? Well, if that thought has ever crossed your mind, you are in the right place. We're about to unpack a really powerful way of thinking that charts a clear path from wherever you are now all the way to the top.
It's the big question, isn't it? What is the actual roadmap to the C-suite? Is it just about who you know, or being in the right place at the right time? Is it all just luck? Or is there a more deliberate, more strategic way to build your career to that level? Let's dig in. So, the framework we're exploring today completely flips the old career ladder idea on its head. It says a successful career isn't something you climb, it's a stack that you build. Think about it like an engineer building a skyscraper. You have to lay each layer, each foundation perfectly before you can build the next one on top. It's a much stronger, more intentional way to grow your career.
And just like any solid building, it all starts with a rock-solid foundation. In this model, these are called anchoring and accelerating behaviors. Now, these are the fundamentals. We're talking about things like your integrity, your curiosity, your drive to get results. They are the absolute bedrock that everything else gets built on.
And here it is. This is the entire professional capability stock. I know, it probably looks like a lot at first glance, so just take a second to soak it in. But the key idea here is actually pretty simple. You build these skills, these capabilities, one level at a time. So let's walk through this whole journey together, starting right at that first big jump into management.
All right, here we go. Level 1, the first major evolution in your career. This is that huge step where you go from being a star individual player to becoming the coach. And believe me, it is a massive leap. It requires a completely different set of skills than the ones that made you successful in the first place.
So what skills do you need to stack on at this first level? We're talking about core managerial capabilities. See, it's not just about doing the work yourself anymore. It's about getting things done through other people. This means you've got to understand the finances of your team, get a handle on high-value sales, make sure you're delivering service excellence, and really sharpen your own selling skills. These are the tools in your new manager toolkit.
Let's just zoom in on finance for non-finance for a second. Why is this so important right at the beginning? Well, it's because this is the exact moment your decisions start to have a real dollar impact. It's about way more than just managing people. It's about learning to speak the language of the business. You have to understand how your team's work connects directly to the company's bottom line.
Okay, so you've mastered managing a team. What's next? The next big evolution is becoming a general manager. And this is a whole new ballgame. It's not just about leading people anymore. It's about leading an entire business unit. You're basically moving from managing the players on the field to managing the entire game.
And as you'd expect, the skills here get much broader, much more strategic. We're looking at true business leadership, developing your business acumen, knowing how to design production systems, and figuring out how to grow the entire sales organization. Now, you might notice something specific in here, like understanding rural India, which really just highlights that at this level, deep market-specific knowledge is absolutely critical. The principle is universal, though. You have to become an expert in the unique world your business lives in.
And a huge piece of this level is sharpening your business acumen. But what does that really mean? Well, it comes down to two things: perception and speed. It's about developing that gut instinct to see how all the different pieces, marketing, sales, operations, finance, all fit together. And then being able to make a quick, decisive call that's going to move the business forward. You're not just staying in your lane anymore. You're seeing the entire highway. And that brings us to the very top of the stack, level 3, the C-suite. This is it, the final and most strategic evolution. Your focus expands from running just a piece of the business to steering the entire enterprise. It's a whole different altitude.
The capabilities you need up here are at the absolute highest level of strategy. We're talking about driving innovation across the whole company, setting the long-term organizational strategy, and, crucially, developing the next generation of leaders. And, of course, mastering your own personal leadership. At this point, it really is all about vision and legacy. I love this analogy because it captures the shift perfectly. You're not down in the boat rowing with everyone else anymore. You are now the captain, steering the entire ship. Developing organizational strategy means you're the one looking at the maps, charting the course into the future, deciding where the company needs to go to win. So, when you put it all together, the evolution is actually quite clear. It's a 3-stage journey. First, you master leading a team as a manager.
Then, you stack on the capabilities to lead a whole business as a general manager. And finally, you develop the vision to lead the entire organization as a CEO. See how each level builds right on top of the last one.
I know, looking at the whole thing can feel like a massive journey. But you have to remember that old saying, right? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And in this framework, that first step is just identifying and mastering the very next block in your capability stack wherever you happen to be right now.
So the final question isn't really for me, it's for you. Take a good look at this stack and be honest with yourself. Where are you right now? And even more importantly, what's your next move? What is the one capability that you need to start building starting today?